What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee and my guest co-host for the week, Jordan. And this is your last day guest hosting for the week. But Jordan Emmanuel is here. And we have Uncle Waffles here.
Oh, hey. Hi.
I feel like all day we should have been like, Uncle Waffles is coming. I was telling you, I actually saw you DJ. It was the Roots Picnic.
Okay.
In Philly.
Okay.
That party was so insane.
It was. It really, really was. And I was the only piano act, so I was really scared that people might not know who I was. So... yeah.
Listen, when I tell you all night long, they made sure, I want to say, like, everybody that went on before you, they were like, y'all get ready because Uncle Waffles is coming, and everybody was going crazy. And I remember when you walked in and, like, went and set up, it was a whole ridiculous vibe.
Yeah, it was. It was amazing.
Yeah, and that was my first time, you know, being in the club and seeing you. I don't even go to the club a lot, but I was like, I need to come out more because...
Yeah, definitely.
So let's talk about Uncle Waffles and how you got to where you are today, which is somebody that people up here in this whole office were like, Uncle Waffles is coming.
Yeah, like that's amazing that people even know me. Yeah.
And we've even been trying to make this interview happen for a while, and you're a DJ, Jordan,
yeah,
so...
I feel like everybody knows your music, your vibe, your videos.
We're still emerging in the space, so I just always assume that people will not know me.
Yeah. Well, you got a few million people that follow
right.
you.
Just a little.
Just a little following.
Just a little 2 million, yeah.
And I think it's everything when it comes to you because it's you DJ, but it's not just that. You're so interactive. And that's not something that we normally see. So let's dig into Uncle Waffles and how we got to where we are today. Because in reading your story, you really started DJing during COVID.
Yes, I did. I started learning in 2021 and then took out my first poster the same year.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were just like teaching yourself or?
No, I had someone teach me because I worked at a place where we had a lot of creatives. So a DJ came and I was like, hey, I'd really love to learn, just to know. Initially, this was all just to know, just to understand. And then as you're spending so much time with something, 8 hours a day, you would know.
Yep, practice.
Practicing all the time, you realize that this is something you can love. And you didn't know you could love something, I always knew I wanted to do something creative, but I never knew where it would go. So when this came with me, I was like, okay, I'm going to put out a poster and just see, maybe just one booking to see if I actually like it. And then it went from one booking to like 9 months later, my life completely changing.
Hey, that's quick.
Yeah, it was.
Some people would be like, all right, so I was DJing for 3 years. How long did it take till you got your first paid gig? Because I know at first you're doing things for practice.
Yeah, I think it took 6 months probably.
All right, that's still not bad.
Pretty quick.
Yeah. And if you're doing something that you love, it's a different type of vibe. The first time you DJ, what was that like, your first gig?
I did absolutely horrible, but I told myself it's okay. I played and then, so my practice was with a 15-year-old dick. So when I started playing for clubs, this dick had so many things that were different. Like the dick that I used didn't even show BPM. Nothing whatsoever.
I don't know what that is because you keep saying, what is
the deck?
Oh, the deck.
Yes.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute. A 50-year-old dick. I was like, no, don't do that. Did anybody else think that was... Okay,
the deck.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Yes. So when I started playing in the club, I was very confused. Someone was like, okay, no, just watch the BPMs. I'm like, I don't know what that is. The person was teaching me would always be like, just listen. So I'd always just be listening. Now you're listening and the song feels like it's going fast and out that you're not getting enough time to mix. Like, what is happening? Did I actually learn anything? It was a horrible hour, but my friends came out to support me, They were like, it was pretty good. And obviously they can't say it was bad.
Right.
Yeah.
As long as they was getting hyped too, it looked like you was doing a good job.
Yes. As long as people are dancing, you're fine.
Right. You just need those head nods and you're like, I've gotten through it.
What was your first DJing gig like, Jordan, since we're asking?
Mine was also a hot mess. I was doing All-Star Weekend in 2020, like right before everything broke out. And it was Dave East and Sweetie. And my flight was 4 hours delayed, so I was late for my set. Ooh. I could barely even get up there, couldn't connect the equipment right. Like, it was a hot mess.
Yeah.
But we got through it.
I'm glad. Because, even for you, like the stigma of being a model and then DJing, people already want to hate.
Oh, yeah. And they were. Because I also started on Instagram, too. So it was like, I was used to just being in my room and like dancing around by myself and not having any reaction. So that was a little intimidating that first time.
Definitely.
Now, when did you realize, let me go out in this audience and get hype with everybody and that's going to be a thing?
So I did it for the first time at a private party that some kids were throwing. And they really enjoyed it. I was like, okay, I can dance, but I don't think I want to, it's that serious for me. Because I've always been like able to dance. I've always been that kid that opens the circles, you know. So I just did it a bit and I was like, okay, people like it. And then that was my first video to semi-go viral. So semi-go viral for someone who has like 2,000 followers is when it touches 5,000, you know, views. And you're like, okay, people actually kind of like this. So I started stepping out here and there, you know, interacting with people a little if they liked it, but not all crowds. Because some crowds, you start dancing, then it's like...
Right.
Yeah, what is she doing? She's even like from doing what she's doing now, already being a female. Now you want to come out and dance? You're just doing too much. So yeah, I just started a bit by bit. And then with the viral video, I told myself that this is my chance to stand out. You know, this is my chance to make people notice me. So I swallowed my pride and I got up on, there was a step behind me. I got up on the step behind me and danced. No one was watching me at first.
And then
they started watching me.
It's honestly like a show. When you DJ, it's not even like necessarily people just there, but they're like crowding to watch you like you're performing.
Yes, and I love that. I really love that people want to see me perform the same way they want to see me play. It's like, I want to see what you're going to do. How are you going to really show the music through your dance? Especially because a lot of people don't understand the language.
Right.
So they can read it through how you dance.
And you know what's amazing too? Since you brought up people not understanding the language, there are so many songs that I love and I have no idea what's being said.
Right.
But you listen, music is really the great like connector for everybody.
It really
Whether or
is.
not you understand the language. I even think about like when I first was getting started in management for hip hop and seeing artists go overseas to like Asia. And I'm like, they don't know what's,
no clue.
but
But
they're
they
going
just
crazy.
feel it. Right. Yeah, they just feel the vibe. That's the main thing with piano. That's why the dancing is so important for the entire genre, is because people really have connected with the sound through the dance. Yeah.
And so let's talk about just internationally when you started traveling, and you even did Coachella.
Yes.
And no, I haven't seen like a DJ do Coachella the way you've done Coachella.
Thank you.
So tell me how that was for you getting that call that you were getting booked for that, because that's one of the biggest festivals we have, period.
Yeah, it was. So initially they called and they were like, yes, we'd like to have you. But, you know, some things don't completely fall through. So I was excited, but I wasn't excited too much because, you know, sometimes they can't meet you at a place where you can do it. Because I'm going to be traveling to South Africa. I have a whole team. I have dancers. So I wanted to make sure that I was able to do it at my fullest, not wing it. I don't want to half do it. Because Coachella doesn't really give second chances. They usually book people once.
And it goes quite
that's
viral.
Yeah. You are like, people are watching you like from the start to the end of your set. So I was really shocked that they even knew how I was at that point. That was when, like almost a year in, when we got the first call. I was like, how did they even find out about us? How did they find out about the genre? And why would they want to just choose me, you know? But yeah, I was very flabbergasted, but I was very thankful. Yeah.
And I feel like people are getting educated on a lot because of you. Like Amapiano,
Yes.
I know about that because of you.
Thank you.
So can you explain to people who are listening, because they call you the Amapiano princess, but what is that style of music?
So it's a style of music that originates from Soweto in South Africa. It is taken from kwaito and house. It has nuances of almost every genre in South Africa, but it was given an extra kick that everyone calls a lock drum. So the lock drum is essentially those drums you hear all the time that are very unique to piano. So that genre emerged through a lot of the younger street kids.
Okay.
And then it started getting more commercial when artists like Gabza the Small, Storky, Do, aka Trip, those are the people who brought it to light and we started knowing it. So even in 2021, it was still a genre that wasn't popular even within the space. It was a genre you'd only hear here and there. And then lockdown happened.
Okay.
Lockdown took it from a genre you only knew because it was a niche thing to the only genre.
Wow.
Now it is the genre in South Africa. Yeah, and it's also opened up a lot of opportunities for everybody. So not just producers, artists, DJs, and dancers, which is something that South Africa hasn't really had, where dancers are flown overseas to teach because of how unique the genre is.
That's so dope.
Yeah, it's amazing. I feel like COVID in general was such a great time for music and
really was.
art because we just were so literally locked in and locked out. that it was just like the only way we had to communicate with each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it really did a lot of us justice, even me. You know?
Think about it, because Versus at that time was huge. D Nice was doing these lives. People were really like go and DJ, and we would be at home like locked in watching somebody DJ.
Like a concert.
I don't know that could happen now because we're so busy, like, you know, running around and doing things. It was just a different type of situation when we were all quarantined.
It was.
Now, both of you are women DJs. So I want to ask you guys, do you feel like there's extra things that you have to prove? Because I know for myself, doing what I do as a woman, I feel like I always have to come extra more prepared. And, you know, a lot of times I'll get a lot more criticism for every little thing. I could say something, a man could say it, but they'll be mad that I said something. So I want to ask you about what that has been like for you. Because there's advantages too, but there's also obstacles.
So the biggest thing is, I think, judging from all the girls that have emerged, the biggest thing that I've seen that also happened to me is that people want to question if you actually play.
Yeah.
So everyone is always like, oh, it's definitely a premix. There's no way you can dance and play. But they don't say that to males. Ever. Even when a male can leave a deck to go hug someone, that doesn't mean he has a premix. If they can go turn around, dance with the fan, that doesn't mean they premix. But as a girl, even though you know your music, you know how long the music is, you know what you want to mix, which are all things that happen when we practice.
Right.
You know, no one just goes and wings it.
Yeah.
There's a whole routine. There's a strategy behind, okay, this is the perfect moment to dance. Okay, the song's too short. This won't work, you know? So the biggest thing is definitely that people want you to continuously prove yourself. So when I did Boiler Room, I was so scared because of the amount of criticism I had received around it. It started making me doubt that I could play. So I was feeling like if this is going to be live, you know, as much as people have seen me play, people have seen me play actually, but now the world is seeing me through Boiler Room. I was so scared that people were going to find this and this be the, haha, she actually can't play. So I remember I prayed and I was like, I can play. Let fear not stop me now, you know? So the biggest thing is that you're always going to be criticized for everything, even though men do it.
Yep. That's a fact. Yeah. Especially being a pretty woman too.
Yeah.
You know, when you guys are DJing, sometimes, oh, she's a model, oh, she's beautiful, she could dance, but she's just getting that because sometimes people do think like that. But I also feel like, well, use it to your advantage.
Yes, of course. It's a blessing. It's something that the reality of being any sort of public figure is that people need to be attracted to you.
Absolutely.
So it definitely does help to be someone who's attractive.
Right.
And I don't feel like that's a bad thing because you can be attractive and you can still work very hard. Your skills can still be valid. Those are all things that can all coexist.
Right.
Yeah.
And you guys both have such amazing looks, like as far as even fashion. I mean, it all plays a part though.
Yes, it does.
You know, of the persona of being, you guys are really like, DJs are performers. DJ could make or break a party.
Yeah.
Let's be clear.
Yeah.
I've been to parties where the DJ was so bad. I'm not going to name no names, but where it's literally been like, who is DJing?
Right.
And it can be awful. But if the DJ is lit, even if the party's not that good, you and your section can have a good time.
Yep. Yep. That happens a lot also when you're going to a space where they don't know the genre, where the only thing you can do is get them hyped. They don't get it, but come on, guys. You know, as long as there's a couple of people dancing, you know you're putting on a good show.
I remember you were like, I'm playing my music when you were in there, and you do music too. So let's get into that, because it's always like the growth of seeing you, you know, start something. And I could see that you have a very like honed in, locked in, study this, go hard, just from how you started DJing. Like you said, you were doing 8 or 9 hours a day. Yeah. Then you started doing gigs. Then you said, I'm going to make my own music.
Yes.
So let's talk about that.
Okay. So I released my first song in 2022. It had taken 6 months to get to a place where I was comfortable enough with how I produce. Because again, when you find your space through social media, like if you blow up through social media, you are constantly fed things that will make you doubt things that you know you can do. So I'd already started learning at that point. So everyone was like, just drop music or we'll forget you. So there was so much pressure that we made a song and I was like, I don't want to drop it. This is not the time. So we waited about 6-7 months before I dropped my first song. I felt ready, but I was also okay with if people didn't like it. I wanted to be okay with, okay, I like the song. If people don't like it, that's okay. But I'm at a place where I'm happy with how the song came out. They love it. And it's currently my biggest song, surprisingly. Yeah. So yeah, it took a while to build up the courage. Even now, every time I drop a song, I'm always like, damn.
Oh, yeah, that song, the video is amazing
Thank
too,
you.
by the way, because the visuals really go with it.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Do you still get nervous when you DJ? And when you play?
Yes. Do you?
Yeah, every time.
Really?
Every
Yeah,
time. I don't think
know.
it goes away.
It doesn't. I don't.
Yeah, it doesn't go. Especially the bigger the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the bigger the crowd. Okay, my biggest thing, if a stage is far, I'm very nervous. Because they can't see me. I can't really dance. They can't tell what's happening.
Right.
They don't know the music. It's just too many factors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I get really
That's when you have
nervous.
to ask and be like, look, I need my stage set up like this so that
Yes.
people can see what I have going on.
Yes.
Now, being that you have so much happening, I know that you have more things in the works. Because I can see already, like, and you're so young still, that's a compliment.
Thank you.
But what else do you plan to do? Because I think even with the fashion, we can look at you and see with the earrings, the
giving
hair,
looks.
It's giving looks.
Thank you. So I'm trying to work on a lot of different things this year just to go outside my box.
Mm-hmm.
There's no album in the works this year, but there's a lot more singles.
Okay.
And a lot more visuals because visuals, getting to a place where I want to release visuals that match how I feel I want to be seen. Because I feel like right now they see me as an act who can fill up a space, but they don't see me as a headliner.
Okay.
And this year I'm trying to show people that piano artists can be headliners. So I'm trying to create visuals that really show that we can sell a show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah, more visuals this year, more singles this year, hopefully more international collaborations.
Ooh, anything in the works?
Yes, there's actually something in the works.
Something big?
Yeah,
Okay.
something great in the works. A lot of great things in the works, actually. So yeah, hopefully this year, I also encounter a lot more people, you know, bigger crowds, bigger demographics. You know, guys, listen to piano. It's great.
No, honestly, you left such an impression.
Thank you.
When I was at the Roots picnic, I was like, okay, I need to make sure I know what's going on. I came to work. I was like, yo, this chick, Uncle Waffles, was in there DJing. First of all, you hear Uncle Waffles, you think like,
A guy.
Yeah.
who's this old man that's about to come
Right.
in and DJ? Who's Uncle?
Like a
all
country
the time.
DJ.
Yeah, all the time. If I was like, Mr. Uncle Waffles,
Right.
to my manager, and he's like, no. Yeah.
This is Uncle Waffles
This
right
is
here.
Uncle
But that's
Waffles.
dope.
Yeah, it is.
It's super creative. And I remember Drake posted you.
Yes.
And that was a big deal for you at that time.
It really was. That was like 2 months into my blow up.
Mm-hmm.
So having someone recognize me that early on was amazing. We're
Right.
in the car coming back from a gig that was like 5 hours away. So yeah, it was absolutely amazing. I was screaming like, damn, people are going to know me. This is another step for people to get to know me a bit better. So yeah, it was amazing.
You've gotten a lot of cosigns though.
Yes,
Like,
I
I mean, major ones.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Before Drake, there was actually quite a number of people. There was Jermaine Dupri. There was a lot of people who were like, oh, you're great, and we see something in you. So from the very beginning, there was a lot of people who were showing me love and support that, yeah, I've always just been like, damn, you guys see something? What do you see exactly? You know, yeah.
You know what it is. You've been like this since a kid.
You
You have.
Yeah.
Okay. And Waffles, that came from a nickname you had when you were young also?
Yes, it
Okay.
came from high school. My friends used to call me Waffles because of Teen Titans. The Waffles song on Teen Titans. This is not a fun story. You know, I always feel like I should have a better story, but it just comes from the song Waffles, Waffles, Waffles. And now here I am.
Well,
3
listen,
years
it's a
later.
unique
But where'd the
name.
uncle come from?
So, okay. So I didn't have social media throughout high school. Because of my mother. So
Good
when
for
I
her.
find
Right.
yeah, she was right. She was right. So when I started getting on social media, I got Instagram, my friends are like, this uncle thing is really cool right now. Like this uncle thing is like really cool. So they're like, just be Uncle Waffles. So when I started playing, I didn't call myself Uncle Waffles. I called myself Waffles. And then my beautiful manager over there decided to put Uncle Waffles on every poster instead. Yeah.
When did you get to the point where you're like, I need to get a manager?
Almost immediately because as a woman, you know, not only are you getting played, you're getting a lot of men who are
Trying to holla.
yes, but also trying to book you, and you can't tell if the situation is dangerous or not.
Right.
So there was a lot of people in the very beginning. They were like, "Yo, please come out to another country. Yeah, we're gonna pick you up. We're gonna do this and do this," and this didn't feel guaranteed to me.
Right.
So,
that is definitely a safety concern.
Yes. So immediately I was like, I need manager or at least someone who I know who's whatever happens, I'm gonna have someone there with me.
All right, good.
Yeah, thanks.
So how did your mom feel seeing all this?
She didn't get it at first. Like when everything happened, she would ask me when we go to other countries, okay, so using your own money to go to other countries to go play, why would you do that? And I'd be like, no, they booked me.
You were just flying yourself out.
Going on vacation, playing music.
I was like, they booked me. She was like, oh, okay, so like, that means that they're paying you to go there. I'm like, yes. They're like, oh. And then, yeah, after that, she started understanding, and now she knows that, oh, where are you right now? Oh, okay, please bring me this, please bring me that.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's like, look, I'm going to get some of these perks too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
definitely.
Yeah, she should.
Now,
Yeah,
the single that you put out most recently, I don't want to say it wrong.
Wadibusa.
Wadibusa.
Yes.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure. Now, what does that mean?
Wadibusa is just vibing and dancing.
Okay.
Yes.
I got to make sure I learn the lingo so I
Right.
could just throw it around sometimes.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
Well, honestly, I appreciate you for coming through. I know you don't always like do a ton of interviews, but we've been trying to schedule this. It's been all kinds of like scheduling conflicts because you're very booked and busy. I respect it.
Thank you. But thank you so much for being patient and having me.
Yeah, listen, I'm about to catch a flight, but we had to stay today to make sure Uncle Waffles came through. And I know Jordan was excited too, being that she's a
Very
DJ as
excited.
well.
Love being in this energy and support what you do.
Oh, thanks, guys.
And what do you have coming up that you want to make sure we know about?
Okay, so I have a headline show. I'm doing the Brooklyn Mirage.
Ooh,
Yes.
Brooklyn, that's where I'm
Huge.
from. Let's come
Yes.
outside. When is that?
On the 18th of August. So last year I did it, but this year I'm doing the bigger venue. And I'm the first woman to do it, first African female to do it.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a really big deal.
That is a huge deal. We got to make sure we go out and
Yeah.
support.
Ah,
I
thank
feel
you.
like everyone's coming anyway, but, you know, run it up, run it up, run it up.
Please. It's going to be amazing. I'm hoping that this is a chance for me to show what I can really do in full.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, we are outside for Uncle Waffles. We love to see it. Thank you so much for coming through. And every time you're here, like, you know, come see us.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
All right, it's way up.
Way up.